Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to 5 Minutes with Seany. This is Jerry Shelster, your co-host, and please welcome Sean Entin, your host. Good afternoon, Sean. How are you, sir?
Hey, buddy. How are you, Jerry? I'm doing great. I'm fantastic, actually.
It's a beautiful place. Where are you right now?
Santa Barbara. I'm back where all this started. Back where they saved my life. The Cottage Hospital here.
Aha,
Full
fantastic.
circle. Yeah. I drove up here myself, which is amazing. My independence has come back completely almost. They told me here in Santa Barbara they weren't sure if I was going to be a vegetable or if I was going to be never going to be able to drive again or walk or talk. And I drove up here today, just coming back here. I call this kind of home because this is where this all happened. I was medevaced here for the first surgery where they had to save my life.
Well, that's fantastic because, as you said, this week being the Independence Day, we're going to make this 4th of July, but also Independence Week. So we're going to talk about independence and recovery for people recovering from all kinds of things, since there's a lot of similarities that people go through. So
Absolutely.
let's look back a little bit, Sean. I mean, you're right there in Santa Barbara where you had your surgery, and you ended up post-stroke emergency. How long did you stay in Santa Barbara?
Oh, I was here for about 45 days in the hospital.
45 days.
Yeah, ICU majority of the time, 10-day coma, and then some after, some before. They medevaced me here, so I came here on a helicopter. I get to see Santa Barbara from a helicopter, but I wasn't actually awake for any of it, which is kind of ironic.
Right. Well, let's just go back a little bit. When you first woke up and you remember or you recognized that you really didn't have your independence, and that became clear to you, how did that feel? And what did you do what were the first senses of what you felt, how you responded when you realized you'd lost your independence?
You know what, Jerry? I was scared. I was afraid. I was immediately depressed because my body was trapped. I was fully paralyzed completely from head to toe. And I couldn't speak. I couldn't talk. Couldn't communicate. The words wouldn't come out of my mouth. I was just in a terrible, terrible place. And combined with all the drugs I was on and then everything else, it just made life even worse.
I can only imagine, and hopefully most of us who are watching haven't been in that spot. So at that point in time, you said it was really a horrible place. So in those early stages, what did independence look like for you? What were you trying to accomplish?
I wanted to be independent. I wanted to get back for my daughters, for my family, for my loved ones. I wanted to be back to being back to old Shawnee. I used to run and gun and just do everything. I was fully independent. I could drive. I could, and when everything goes away, my whole motive is to get back. What do I need to do to get back to those? So what are my steps necessary now to be back to being independent? It's been a long journey, a long road. And that's what part of this show is all about, to give people the confidence to really go out there, give back, be independent, just get back to being extraordinary again. Because nobody wants to be average or the normal. I don't want to be average.
No, or certainly sub-average. So what
Exactly.
was it that you did at that point in time? What were the first steps, literally, that you took to start moving towards your independence?
Okay, well, back in Santa Barbara, the first thing I learned how to do was to eat because I had two tubes in my body. I had one tube into my stomach, another tube into my intestines. It's called the G tube and the J tube because I lost so much weight in the coma. I went from about 175, 180 to about 135. I lost a lot of weight. And then the craniectomy, we took off the skull off my head. So I had multiple surgeries in the course of about 15 days to save my life. And I wanted to eat again, Jerry. The first thing was to do was to eat and just to swallow, and that's the first steps back.
Well, and then you also talked about getting into the gym. What did that take?
That didn't come until after I was transferred to San Diego to Sharp Hospital. Moments later, I probably say after Santa Barbara, I was taken down to San Diego where I lived. And that was a whole nother occurrence where I had to do so many things in order just to get back into the physical therapy gym. I had to be detubed. They take all my feeding tubes out, all my PICC lines, all the stitches off my head. I couldn't do anything until I got all these wires out of my body.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that took about how long do you think that took you to get to that point?
Oh, there's probably another couple weeks. I probably didn't get into the gym until about February or March 2012. And then the injury, the stroke happened in November of 2011.
What do you recall as being the first time you really actually felt independent again in those early stages? What was an accomplishment that made you feel like, okay, I'm there, I'm getting there?
They gave me a big pole, the size like a 7-foot pole, and I took one step with that pole, holding on for dear life. That first step, I knew if I took the first step, the next steps would then come. And I was on a pole, a hemi walker, and then to a cane, a tripod cane, eventually to getting on a recumbent bike, getting into the gym, getting on a recumbent bike, and then starting to walk along without any devices. And that was when I really knew I'm getting back.
And that must have been a very satisfying feeling.
Huge feeling. I couldn't wait. I showed my parents. I showed my daughters. I mean, I was so excited to show everybody, hey, listen, I'm walking. Because they told me I wasn't going to walk. Excuse me, that's BS. You can do the brain can do anything it wants to do.
Right.
And I can, I shall, I will.
Well, Sean, that's a great start, a great intro to this week's discussion about independence. So we're going to wrap it up with that, but just tell everybody a little bit about what we're planning to do this week.
Independence Day. We're teaching everyone how to be back again. You know, be independent, be back with your loved ones, get back to work, get back to driving, get back to being what you were before the injury, or then before the brain injury, or before the stroke. And right. It's a team. We do this together. It's not about me. It's about everybody else out there. And I really want to stress the point. Please communicate with us. Please contact us at this bit.ly link here, because I want to hear your guys' story. How did you become independent again, and how can we help you? What are your questions? What are your concerns? I can help you. We can help you.
Excellent. And if you go to that bit.ly link, it'll take you straight to the comments page on the SeanEntin.com. And it's an easy way to communicate, share your story, and then we can incorporate your ideas, your thoughts, and potentially even have you on the show someday down the road a little bit. So please contact us there. And thank you, Sean, for your time today. And we'll look forward to talking again tomorrow and moving to the next step.
Thanks, Jerry. And 5 minutes with Seany. And please share this with your friends. And SeanEntin.com is also the blog where there's extended a version of all my 5 minutes every day. It goes into a longer version in more detail as well. So thanks, all of you. Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.